have taken you from the Imperial City's prison, first by carriage and now by boat. To the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay? Wake up.
Hello and welcome to Morroblivion and One Must Die. What do I mean by and One Must Die? Well, you know how everyone has certain strengths and certain weaknesses, but did you ever meet someone who has only weaknesses? No? I present to you Svalbard. Svalbard is a genetic dead end with no redeeming features whatsoever. He will have one in every attribute and one in every skill, and his goal is to beat the main story, the DLC, and most of the side quests. Can he do it? I don't think so, but he's definitely gonna try.
Stand up. There you go. You were dreaming. Well, not even last night's storm could wake you. I heard them say we've reached Morrowind. I'm sure they'll let us go. Quiet. Here comes the guard.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
Ah, Jib. Saint Jib. Jib the Eradicator. You Morrowind fans probably noticed that this Jib has 2 eyes, no scar, and his hair grew back. Huh, that reminds me of someone. Well, I have a lot of things to say about the rise and fall of Saint Jib, but I'll save that for later. For now, Jib, don't move to Quatch.
You better do what they say.
You would be better off doing what I say. But okay, bye-bye. So, Morroblivion. It's a huge fan-made mod that takes the world and story of Morrowind and puts it into the Oblivion engine. It's absolutely fantastic and I highly recommend it. And the only things you really need is Oblivion plus Shivering Isles and Morrowind plus Blood Moon and Tribunal DLC. It's much easier to install than you would think, and I will provide links to the installation guide and links to the download.
I only have a few moments.
Get yourself up on deck and let's keep this as civil as possible.
Yes, sir. Many people in Sedanine, mostly the Outlanders, live in small Cyrodil-style houses, whereas the other half of the village, mostly Dunmer, lives in fishermen's huts. And here we are, Sedanine, looking good. There we can see the majestic Silt Strider, and off in the distance we can see Vivek City, with the Ministry of Truth levitating just above the city. This guy is new.
Speak while the sands are warm.
Hello there, friend. Ever want to get off this rock? I can take you to the Imperial City in Cyrodil for a small consideration. 1,000 drakes up front. You'll be there in about 3 days if the weather cooperates. So this guy is part of an optional mod that you can install together with Morroblivion, and he can take us to Cyrodil and Warnfell all the time, even though chronologically it makes absolutely no sense because you could complete the main story of Morrowind and Oblivion with the same character. But that's fun, I guess. Maybe some other time then.
This is where they want you. Head down to the dock and I'll show you to the census office.
So at this point we would usually choose our race, but
You finally arrived, but our records don't show from where. Follow me up to the office and they'll finish your release.
we already did that, and this guard would usually say, I'm sure you'll fit right in, which is complete bullshit. You don't fit in at all, even if you make a Dunmer. Everybody else, like even the other Dunmers, are gonna be super rude and xenophobic towards you. This place is very inhospitable.
Head on in.
Yes, we've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
So just like in Morrowind, we can either do the quiz or skip it. We're gonna skip it simply because we have to make a custom class, we have to level efficiently, otherwise I fear we will never be able to beat the game. And we're gonna pick this guy because he looks like an asshole and we're gonna have very low personality, so we might as well look the part. We're gonna specialize in magic. And this is the one exception to the rule, so the 5 attribute bonus we get from this will count, so we will start with 6 strength and 6 endurance instead of 1. in each. And now the worst part of Oblivion / Morrowind, the leveling system. It's completely unintuitive, it's frustrating, it's not fun, it's completely backwards. So basically you have to pick skills that A, you don't want to use, or B, you can control when you want to use them. So we're gonna actually use blades. That means we're gonna put blunt and hand-to-hand into major skills. We're gonna use heavy armor, so we're gonna put light armor into major skills. We're not gonna use the bow and arrow. We're not going to use speechcraft. Instead, we're going to use illusion spells to charm the NPCs, and we're not going to use lockpicking. Instead, we're going to use alteration spells. And we're going to put mercantile into major skills because after a certain level, it starts leveling very, very slowly. I was never able to max out mercantile. So, and we're going to call our class Waste of Skin, because that's exactly what we are. Yes.
Very good. The letter that preceded you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
Well, we desperately need stats, but I fear that would be against the purpose of the challenge, so we're gonna take the apprentice, because I don't know how much magicka we're gonna have once I put intelligence to 1, and I fear that we're going to be so fragile that we're going to die in one hit no matter what, so that the 100% weakness to magicka won't even matter. So yeah.
Interesting. Show your papers to the captain when you exit to get your release fee.
And now it's time for me to use console commands to put our attributes and skills to 1. I'll be right back. And we're back. Look at this pathetic excuse for a human being. He has 12 health. 102 magic, and that's only because we took the apprentice birth sign. Otherwise we wouldn't be able to use any kind of spell. We're gonna die in one hit, and we have 14 fatigue. All our skills are at 1. No wonder he turned to a world of crime. Now you Morrowind veterans are probably thinking, is he gonna steal it? Can he steal it?
What is it, Nord?
Well, I wouldn't recommend it, but I'm gonna show what's gonna happen.
Grab him!
Yep. I can drop it, not that it makes a difference, but... Stop! You violated the law. Since you don't have the gold to pay the court. Oh God. You must surrender your stolen goods and serve your sentence of punitive labor. Come with me. Well, yeah, I cannot resist. He's otherwise gonna kill me and I have no gold. I have to go to jail. Then you must serve a sentence of hard labor. Hard labor? Serve your time peaceably and pay your debt to society. Am I going to a gulag or something? So yeah, I'm in actual prison. Unlike Morrowind, you go to prison.
Go ahead, stranger.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. He let me out, but it said jailbreak. Wait, what? What's your question, stranger? Can I help you find your way around Pelagiat? Pelagiat, okay. No.
Any time now.
Thank you very much. Let's get out of here. This is like an alternate start mod or something.
Yes.
Let's get out of here. I did not plan this. I didn't think something like this would happen. Let's check our carry weight. Our carry weight is 30. That's not ideal. So here we are, Blockhead. Ah, it's foggy. Yeah, there's this thing about Morroblivion. So in certain regions, there's always a certain kind of weather. So around the Bitter Coast, it's always rainy, foggy, or bleak in general, just like right now. And it's supposed to be like this, and it makes the game look really ugly. But just for demonstration, I'm going to show you something. Now look at this, it's 10 times better, but don't worry, in like a few seconds it's gonna turn back to shitty weather again.
You talk too much, Outlander.
I talk too much. Well, maybe. Anyway, the weather is gonna turn back to its bleak old self in just a few seconds, unfortunately. Well, there is a mod that makes Morroblivion permanently sunny, and it's very pretty that way, but I feel that that would take away from the atmosphere. That would be a bit too much, so I'm gonna keep it like this for now. Oh, is that a Gwar? Hey, it's a Gwar. Oh, I hope he's not aggressive. Oh, thank God, he's not aggressive. Hello there, little guy. It's such a cool dinosaur. And they use them as beasts of burden in Morrowind. Like a donkey. Oh, look at him. Mini T-Rex. Okay. Oh yeah, and you probably notice that sometimes there's Morrowind music playing and sometimes there's Oblivion music playing. Well, that's on purpose. I made it so on purpose because I really like the Oblivion soundtrack, but I also like the Morrowind soundtrack, so I left both. But you can just leave the Morrowind soundtrack if you like, or just the Oblivion one, or both. That's totally up to you. Oh, yep, this is the right way. Seydanin. It's this way. And we are at the Bitter Coast. So I hope we didn't break the main quest completely, but that we just interrupted it instead. And soon you will notice a dramatic change in weather. There's the Silt Strider. To me, they always look like giant fleas. And I was always wondering, what do they eat? Do they eat Netch or Khajiit or Goliaths? I have no idea. You never actually see them move or eat. Anyway. What? Joe Tesh is unconscious? Wait, that's the Khajiit from the ship that's supposed to take us to Cyrodil. What the hell happened? What did we do? What the? There's fighting? Oh my god. Oh, it's a Bethesda game after all. Let's see what's going on. Oh dear god. What? Is it a slaughterfish? Okay. Yeah, it was a slaughterfish. Okay, he's fine. He's fine. He's a central NPC. Well, even if it's a mod, it's still a Bethesda game and there will be bugs, but thankfully the modders had the foresight to make him a central character. Okay, let's get back. And we're back on track. This thing, it's more trouble than it's worth. And even if we could steal it, we could only sell it to select members of the Thieves Guild. And plus it's too heavy anyway, so let's just leave it. Instead, let's continue the main quest.
Continue through to the next building and talk to Celes Gravius.
What was that?
Oh, he's pissed. I wonder why. We'll take the dagger.
What was that?
No to Hriskar. Don't think I've forgotten our wager. I want this dagger sharp as a scam's claw by morning, Gansiel. That's the guard who's pissed at us. The one who arrested us. Okay.
What was that?
Here it is. The one ring to rule them all.
Your papers, please.
I'll be taking those. I'm Captain Gravius, and this is Morrowind. My background is not important. I do have some duties for you, however. This package came with the news of your arrival. You are to take it to Cais Cassades in the town of Balmora. Go to the South Wall Corner Club and ask for Cais Cassades. They'll know where to find him. Serve him as you would serve the Emperor himself. I also have a letter for you and a dispersal to your name. Okay. I've heard that the local tax collector, Processus Vitellius, is missing. No surprise, really. He wasn't well liked around here. Ah, okay. This reminds me of this hidden side quest we can do. Okay, interesting. Anything else? My son was recently shipped to the Fort Frostmouth on the island of Solstein. Ah yes, so this is how you start the DLC Blood Moon. But we are way too weak to do that now. But later, definitely.
Stay out of trouble and you won't get hurt.
So there's a secret in here. It's this key. It opens the warehouse, which is right in front of this building. And inside you can find some nice beginner's equipment and weapons. But I fear that we don't have enough carry weight to use them. So just like in Oblivion, you get one last chance to change your race, birth sign, and class. But we made our shitty bed and now we have to sleep in it. And there he is. He's approaching. Bargoth. Are you the one that the boat dropped off? Ought to see a boat arrive at that time of day. Hope the Imperials treated you okay. I swear, they took my ring. Your ring, you say? I swear, one of the guards has it. I had it last week for their weekly Let's Shake Down Bargoth ritual. An engraved healing ring, family heirloom of mine. You haven't seen it, have you? Of course, come on, it's Bargoth. You found it, amazing. Thank you, thank you. You are now my favorite friend. I'll be sure to tell the others, especially my friend Ariel, who runs the trade house here. Go see him. He'll be happy to see you now. So this is actually quite useful because our personality is very low. People dislike us, and now the trader is going to have the maximum disposition. So we can sell items for a higher price and buy items and spells for cheap.
Nice day, don't you think?
No, not really, but give me a second. Very nice day now. For a few seconds at least. We're gonna go to the next secret and see if it's there. You Morrowind players probably are wondering if it's there or not. There it is, Vivek City. And spoiler surprise, it's there, alright. It's there. Every jump is an increase in acrobatics. Okay, let's save the game. Ooh, we did it. First try. And we're too heavy. Great. Let's drop the dagger. And who needs a shirt anyway? We are a mix between a hillbilly and a barbarian, I guess. Swamp man. Now, you mentioned the tax collector. That's where we're going next. Gonna try to find him. And it should be this way if my memory serves me right. So, full disclosure, I've played a lot of Morroblivion, and I did play Morrowind. I finished it and the DLC, but that was like in 2012. It's a long time ago, but I do remember most of it. However, I did not finish the main quest or all side missions or the DLC at all in Morroblivion yet, even though I invested like 100 hours. Oh no. I think they will kill us in one hit. Let's not. Ah, there it is. Are we fast enough? Ooh, oh no. Oh no. I think we're fast enough to outrun them as long as we don't have heavy armor. And I bet most of you... Oh no. There's so many and they're so disgusting. Look at them. Look like giant maggots. Okay, you guys probably know where we're going next. This was one of the most memorable moments for me when I played Morrowind for the first time. Was just going... Oh my god, where's the road? It doesn't say. Ah, okay. So this was one of the most... There is most memorable moments of Morrowind for me, and I was wondering, oh, poor guy, wasn't there something I could have done to save him? Was I supposed to do something? And like, nah, he was bullshit. We can beat it. I think we die one hit. I think the only thing that's dealing damage to this thing is the frost enchantment. Turns out my fear was completely justified. We do die in one hit. Let's drop the dagger. And let's drop the shirt. We suit this environment much better without the shirt anyway. And it seems like we have to get rid of the axe because it's simply too heavy. It's 27 and our carry weight is 30, so let's get rid of it. And something I forgot to mention is that this is the version 065 and it includes all the quests, all the side quests, the DLC quests, everything. So this is a very good time to be playing Morroblivion.
You've piqued my interest. Please, share your thoughts.
Welcome to a real straight house. I bought it for goods or coin. I also have a small selection of spells for sale. No credit. You want a little advice? That's free. That's all that's free. Would you like to hear about our most popular potions or most popular scrolls? So I will provide a list of all the mods that I have installed. And there is one mod that's absolutely must have. It's called Protocol Dialogue. And what it does is it protocols dialogues. So you Morrowind players probably know how important and deep the dialogue, the conversations in Morrowind were. You had to pay attention to the instructions, to the descriptions, and to everything. Like you had to click on certain dialogue options to further the quests, get additional information. And yeah, here I highly recommend the Protocol Dialogue mod. And one thing about Morroblivion is that some mods you can get on the Morroblivion website, some mods you get on the Morroblivion Discord, and some mods you get on the Nexus, and I will provide links to all three. Well, except the Nexus. In the Nexus, you just have to write Morroblivion, and you should find all the mods there.
A great day to go shopping, Outlander. You are welcome here.
Okay, this spell looks pretty good. Looks cheap, only 9 Magicka. And this one is 33. Deals the same damage, but for like almost 4 times the cost, and it's also 3 times more expensive. This makes no sense. We are in Morrowind. Most of the enemies are Dunmer, and they are naturally resistant to fire. And yet this spell is so much more expensive, and it's less useful. Like, if you ever had a class in game theory, you could say that this spell weakly dominates this spell, so there's no point in picking this spell. We're definitely going to buy this one. But first we're going to haggle a bit. Like, the only difference between them is that it's shock versus fire, but shock damage should arguably be more useful here than fire damage. Let's be greedy and try 80. Okay. And if I remember correctly, then most Daedra are weak to shock spells. Okay.
Do you have anything to buy?
And for some reason, you have to do haggling separately for intangible and tangible items like spells and the common items, even if it's the same NPC for some reason. Okay, we have to pay attention. We might accidentally level up too early, because Mercantile is one of our major skills. And there's something we can get from here.
Now, what did I do to
So
deserve
usually
this?
this door is locked in Morrowind. You had to lockpick it. So here, Imperial Newt Scale Cuirass. But unfortunately it's light armor and the steel dagger of Swiftblade. Now this dagger might be useful to us, I'm not sure, but we'll give it a try. The good thing is it's pretty light, only 4 weight.
What? Why do you disturb me?
Yep, that's the 0 personality. Well, not 0, it's 1.
Hit
But
the road, mister.
yeah, I'm leaving.
A pleasant afternoon to you, citizen.
Ask or get going.
Okay, we'll try to make our way to the tax collector without dying this time. But before that, we're gonna get to that wood elf who uses the scrolls of Carrion Flight. So one thing you should know about Morroblivion, if you do experience lower than expected FPS, so let's say below 60, like around 30 or something, then it's not necessarily the fault of your system. Like even if you have a very good, up-to-date, modern CPU and graphics card and enough RAM and so on, you still might encounter low FPS. And that is because you would actually need a CPU with a strong single core or perhaps even dual core performance in order to get high FPS. But there's something you can do. There is a mod called FastLOD with the Lite add-on, and if you install this, it should improve your FPS by a lot. Like for me, it increased FPS by 20. And I don't want to kill this guy. I always feel bad for him. Come here. I'll get you. I'll get you. Oh, poor guy. And that sound. Like, I legit felt bad for him in Morrowind, and I always tried to do something, but he's meant to die. Like a lemming. Okay. Let's just take everything. Oh, we didn't sell this. That's not good. I forgot to sell this cuirass. Oh, that's my own fault. Well, the sword is more useful than the cuirass. Let's check this book. I believe I may have found the correct formula for the spell I'm developing. With it, I will be able to travel great distances without the need to pay others for their service. If all goes well, I will test out the new spell tomorrow. I believe I have worked out all the possible complications. It will allow me to leap great distances, covering many hundreds of miles. Never before has one been able to travel in this manner, vaulting from the ground, sailing through the sky, all without the terrible disorientation of a spell of flying. The time is almost upon me. My research is finished, and all of my calculations are checked and rechecked. They laughed at me when I suggested this. We'll see who laughs after I leap to the top of their towers and scream out my success. Ah, yes, poor guy. I wonder where he jumped from. Did he jump from, I don't know, Solstheim or Vivek? Could be from almost anywhere. Is that ever cleared up? Because I have no idea. So as you can see, the weather is shitty again. And I know it's meant to be like this, but you know what? I'm gonna ask you guys, what do you prefer? This? Or this? Because I leave it up to you. I can install the Always Sunny in Morroblivion mod, or I can just make it sunny from time to time through console commands, or I can just leave the natural bleaky look. That's up to you. Let me know what you would prefer. Now, I also disabled all the quest markers for this Morroblivion run because I would like to recapture that walking for hours, trying to find the right place, the right cave, the right NPC. And yeah, because I remember spending half of the game, like half of the game, just trying to find the right place, like reading the description, the instructions and so on, and still failing. Literally after hours, sometimes I couldn't find the right place, and it was fun and frustrating at the same time. Like if it took me more than 30 minutes to find a place, it was just frustrating. But when I finally found it, it was quite rewarding. So yeah, what are your experiences? I honestly believe that I spent half of the time playing Morrowind just trying to find places. Yeah, look at this foggy swamp place. And this region right here, with the Oblivion music and the Oblivion engine, it reminds me a lot of Leyawiin and Bravil, the swampy area in the southeast of Cyrodil. Yeah, and when I see the mushrooms, can't see them right now, but in general, it also reminds me a bit of the Shivering Isles. Well, right now, we're gonna want to find Hriskar, because he can give us an interesting quest. And he's usually either here or in the bar. So let's check the bar. And I feel like we might have to rely on Conjuration spell to get through this game, because the summon is unaffected by our shitty stats, so it might be our only way to success. Let's see.
A pleasant afternoon to you, citizen.
Oh, and what a clusterfuck.
What?
How do I know you're not up to something devious?
There's no time for...
You look like you'd use a friend, Outlander. Perhaps I can be your friend. I'd like you to help me recover some gold. Okay. That's right, see? I had a bad run of luck playing 9 holes and lost a bit of money. Normally, I'd be fine. We can usually keep some gold in our pockets just from the money the locals pay us for protection. He's a thug, but I know some of them are holding out on me, especially that little fetcher Fargoth. He's come up light the past couple of weeks when I've shaken him down. I know he's stashing it somewhere. I'd like you to find Fargoth's hiding place. Fargoth is the only nice guy in this shithole. We're supposed to steal gold from him. I know the little fetchers got one somewhere in town, just not sure where yet. I already gone through this whole house, so I know he's not hiding it at home. So he went through his house? I know he's not hiding it there. I'd like you to find out where he's stashing his gold. If you can, I'll give you a share of the wealth. Are you up for it? Well, I will at least pretend like I am. Excellent. Here's what I want you to do. I'm not sure where he goes, but I know he wanders around town at night. Watch his movements. The best vantage point is on top of the lighthouse, south of the town. That will give you a nice view of all of Saint-Denis. If you keep an eye out where he goes, I'm sure you'll be able to figure out where he's hiding that gold. Okay, so...
May the wind be on your back.
Keep moving, scum.
Keep moving, scum. Like I said, Dunmers are assholes.
May each day greet you warmly, friend.
So,
We are blessed.
let me get this straight. That Hriskar, he wants us to find Fargoth's gold, and then take that gold and give it to him, and then he will give us part of that gold. So what's keeping us from just taking that gold and never giving it to him to keep it for ourselves? Why would we share it with him? Will there be consequences if we just keep it? Because otherwise, there's no reason to give him the gold.
Outlander.
But let's do what he wants, at least for now. We will at least take his advice on finding Fargoth. Oh yeah, this is a skill book, but there's no point in us reading it now. Okay, this spot seems very good to watch over Fargoth, but we're gonna do something else first. We're gonna try and jump to Balmora with the Scrolls of Icarian Flight, but let's check the map first. So if Pelagiad is here, then Balmora must be around here somewhere. So we just need to jump north. First I need to calculate the trajectory, the wind resistance, and of course the hypotenuse. 1 second. Okay, these numbers seem very good. Let's do it. Here we go. I think we're gonna do it. Oh no, we seem to lack this thing called forward momentum. I wonder why. Ah yes, it's the one in speed. Oh well. Will Fargoth lose his gold? Will Svalbard ever amount to anything? Do you like listening to my weird European accent? Find out in the next episode of And One Must Die. Thanks for watching.